Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to discuss some basics what happened in today's market. So let's get started with the pre-open market. So this is Nifty. It was a gap down by 67 points, which is considered flat open. And then when you check for the percentage, Bharti Airtel 0.8 percentage positive, Infi was 2% down, TCS also was 2% down. Okay, so AI is giving tough time for these stocks, especially related to IT stocks. So when you check for Bank Nifty 173 points down, so it is considered a gap down with significant change. You could clearly see Bank of Baroda down by 0.7%, which has the larger impact. Okay, though you can see the price action has too much alteration, so I will discuss that in the later part of the video. We'll check Nifty contributors. So ICICI, HDFC. On the flip side, we have TCS and Infi. When you check for BNF, so it was again ICICI and HDFC. On the flip side, Indus and AU Bank were going down. When you check for Finnifty, this is also same. And then for Midcap Nifty, Federal Bank and Idea was on positive, Persistent and TVS Motors were on the negative side. Okay, moving on to the sensible website for extra data. So we have 26th June holiday. When you check for stock results for this week, we are going to check specifically until 10th. So you could see Ashok Leyland giving dividends. Thursday, Trend, Just Steel, Bank of Baroda giving dividend. Also today you can see Bank of Baroda's stock prices are tanking. So yep, let's just wait and see. HDFC, AMC, Reliance and ICICI is going to give dividends as well. So let's see if that affects. So that's all for this week. I'm not going to check for the next week. When you check for economic calendar, for 4th we have USA based news. For 5th India based RBI interest rate is going to have a high impact in the market, so you can check details here. Okay, so that's all for 4th and 5th. We can move on to the FII. So here specifically we are going to check the FII data alone. Okay, so here you could see 2.8 and 25. So clearly the sellers are high than the buyers because last week there was such a heavy fall. And when you check for resistance and support, resistance is too high than support. Okay, so these are based on the writer's perspective only. Never take it from the buyer's perspective. And the sentiments for stocks, so 39 and 32, this is almost okay. Okay, now let's check for the change in OI. So I'm only going to check for today's specific data. So the straddle point starts at 400. So you could clearly see 350 also acts as straddle, 300 also acts as straddle. So the decay is very much possible here. When you check for Bank Nifty, so similar way you can check for Midcap Nifty and Finnifty as well. Okay, so straddle point is at 500, which was the open, and you could clearly see somewhat profit booking is also happening. Okay, we'll moving to Obstra. So you could see for stocks data here, and then here is the ban list for today. So all these data are being fetched from NSE website, so you can also check in NSE websites. And IPO, so these are the upcoming IPO you can check for, and some international market insights on it. Okay, so you could see since our markets are negative, all the US markets, global markets are also turning negative. Okay, so these are some of the major stuffs you have to check. So the last part is straddle. We'll begin with Nifty. Okay, so offset point is 100. Let's take 50. Should do. So here we have, we'll take from 400. Okay, It's showing for ATM, but I choose open because today's Nifty open was 400. So here is the 350, 400 and 450 straddle. Okay, so when you check for 9:30, 9:15. Okay, let me take 1 minute. Okay, so initially you could clearly see that bang on from start itself, long straddle was giving a very good edge. When you check for 15 minutes, and you could see how the V-shaped recovery in the market has shown too much difference in the straddle chart. So when you check for 400, which is the open of Nifty 50 today, you can understand that this was going up. So at the initial 9:15 to 9:20 candle, so it was probably long straddle day. And then when you check from here to here, so once it reaches 450 mark, from 450 to 390, almost 20 plus points, here was the chance for short straddle, and then again it went for long straddle. Okay, so these are the examples of stop loss hunting zone. Okay, and today it was day 1. Let's move on to BNF. So for BNF, offset will take 100 points. What is offset? Just the before and after strikes, so that we don't get confused. Open was 53,500. So let me take 53,500 itself, which was the open ATM. And then you could clearly see this was a nice long straddle zone from the 12:30. That is the second half of the market, and this was due to ICICI Bank. Okay, that's all guys. Thank you. Keep supporting my channel.